He got in the wind and they
Alan laughed at her, not the doctor.
Oh, okay.
Did the doctor pull
They
the
didn't did it or nothing, just pulled it.
Gave you a drink of whiskey and pulled you to.
Tied a string onto the door.
Did
Nobody didn't like much.
Did you live down here on this house down there by the drugstore?
That big house right down there at the corner of
3rd Street.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where we live, right across from, on the corner.
Right next to Dr. Williams' office down there?
Willie Mae's sister used to live.
Well,
They lived there after we did.
That's on 4th Street.
That's on 4th Street. Oh, we lived in that old big 8-room house on the corner.
That's the one
you're talking about. 3rd Street.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah, we lived there when Nina married.
Well, tell them about the day. Tell them when Aunt Nina married. And Aunt married
Mary
right
was working in the mill. Well, Nina was too then. She got off at on 3rd at dinner time to get married that night. And Mary worked in a place where you sit down and draw threads through. And she saw Mary. Well, Nina come down the steps and you go around the mill there to get under the tunnel. And you can hear anybody when you're up in the mill. You can hear them, but they can't hear you down. Yeah, they can hear you down there. And she said Mary had her head stuck in the window crying. Of course, she's going to go get married. Nina.
And then tell them about Aunt Nell.
I never heard telling
Aunt
my
Nell
daddy.
wouldn't sell them any stockings for her to get married in. She didn't want her to get married either.
Dylan was he had him a room upstairs, and he didn't even come. Nina married at home, and he didn't even come down. He didn't want to see her marry, I guess. He didn't come down to see her get married.
Who was the preacher?
She married a one-armed man.
Who was the
He
preacher?
was good man. But he died. She married again.
What was it about Aunt Nell not selling stockings to them?
Oh, that's when I was gonna get married.
Oh, when she was.
Oh.
I was gonna get married that night. I went up there to get me a pair of hose, and Nell was working at the company store, and she wouldn't wait on me. She didn't want me to get married. I don't think she liked him. And she said, well, I'm not going to wait on you. And I said, well, that's all right. Mr. Howlett was staying there. He was a clerk. My brother was working there, but I don't know where he was. She wanted me to go down to the basement.
How old was he? Because he was working there when I graduated high school, wasn't he?
He was.
Wasn't he? I mean, when did they close that store? What year was it?
I don't know.
How old Dylan was?
It was probably closed about 1972.
No, he wasn't that old.
He wasn't
1970.
working.
He had to retire when he was 6. They used to retire when they were 60.
He started work when he was 9.
When he was 9.
No, he, when he quit before he was 65 and see, he got sick.
What'd you do in the mail?
A lot of people here know him, still know him.
What did you do in the mail?
Huh?
What did you do in the mail? What did you do? What kind of
He
work?
worked in the weave room in the mill.
No, he's asking you what you did. What did you do?
She was a
I worked in
weaver.
the card room.
How did you get a job at the mill? Do you have to know somebody to get on down there? Or?
I didn't work too long. I went to school. When school was out, I went to school. See, I was the youngest in the family beside my sister. I had a sister younger than me. And I was going back to work, to school, but I didn't. I worked on. You didn't make much.
Did your daddy ever say anything about the Civil War?
Huh?
Did your daddy ever say anything about the Civil War?
I don't remember. He used to talk about eating with the Indians or not.
Was he living in Virginia when they had the Civil War?
What?
Was he living in Virginia?
Oh, he
When
was
they had
brought from Virginia when he was a baby in a covered wagon.
Down there?
My daddy was.
What year was he born now?
18.
He died in 65.
No.
Hey,
Your daddy was born in 1850.
that's the one that's married in
He
my
died in 1915.
Now he's buried at Hope Hill.
Hope Hill.
It's in Medina, out from Medina.
But he never did say anything about the Civil War.
What?
He never did say anything about the Civil War. He don't remember it.
No, I used to hear Mama talk about them slaves, you know, they had slaves in Virginia. She said they sold, her daddy, her mother died when she was real young. Her daddy married again. He married a woman with a daughter about the age of my mother. And they played together, I guess. When she got grown, she was going to visit in Tennessee. They had kin people back there. So she come to Tennessee, and well, I don't know how long it was and how old she was, but she met my daddy and they married. And they moved to Indian Territory, that's for, you know, Oklahoma,
Right.
become a state. And that's where he worked out there. And she died out there and he buried out there. They had 3 children. So he come back to Tennessee, and my mother decided she'd come to see the children. And while she was there, she married my daddy. So that was and then she had Emma. There was Emma and Jenny and Charlie. I wish I had. Well, I know my mother had Charles' picture on her wall. I don't know what become of it. And she died, but
Mildred might have it.
no, George Mills may have it.
Emma.
He took all the pictures. Bethel put them all upstairs, up in the attic, I think.
How old was Emma then? You remember
Who?
Emma? How old was she
I don't
then?
know. She was still living when my mother died.
The band.
She talked about her being so good to them, and
People think he was.
said she told her everything she knew. Her mother died when they were little. And we used to go up there for summer
Died young.
to the country.
Her bonnet blew off and she looked up
Her sister probably hadn't been born in
and said she
1870,
saw
I guess.
an angel.
I mean,
The oldest one over in the married?
the oldest.
Hassan
half
had
Half
it.
sister.
They was Hassan had the twins.
Yeah.
And Hattie's still living in the nursing home, 102.
They used to
It's our
fool
first
it.
cousin.
They looked just alike. No, a lot of people couldn't tell them apart.
Well, their daughter
They used to
died,
fool
they
their
come back.
boyfriends. They
Yeah.
have a date with somebody and they'd swap up. They wouldn't know it.
Wasn't an angel that time?
Oh, that was Jenny. Jenny wasn't married, and Charlie never married. But he got shot, this man. He went to help him take his trunk out. And my mother told me this, said he took it out and he told him about, said he come and taking his things out of his trunk. He took a gun out, a pistol, I reckon, and he was a snapping it. And it went off and hit Charlie in the knee. And they didn't do anything with him, but my mother said she believed he did it because I think Charlie was going with some girl he liked. I guess he must have, I don't know if he said it on her. Charlie was. I don't know.
Where is he buried? He buried in the
Neil and George and Ralph and Richard and Kenny all here.
Mother was telling that.
Well, Ralph's making he's made my picture.
And a gun was in there and he shot him
Getting
in the
old.
knee. But I think he died a few days later. He had blood poisoning.
He's got a thing, I don't know what you call it.
Louise, I think.
No, it's a stand on it. It's a new thing.
It's a video camera.
Video camera.
Asked him what about her inheritance.
He's asking me a lot of questions. Oh, yeah, I am. My goodness. I look old. Yeah, I see myself. I got the phone.
It doesn't sound old, though.
That sounds like a dishwashing detergent
Well-
commercial.
How you doing?
I can see myself. On that play.
You want Neil to talk to you?
No, I didn't.
Well, I think he's all right. I haven't seen him. I saw his pictures. Richard, did I call Richard's name? He's over here too. I went to church. And Neil carried in, she was honest to you. She's
Well-
got anything else to say?